Once upon a time, two friends joined forces to bring you the best in horror entertainment. Brian from the north, Tim from the south, each bringing their own unique perspective to the horror community. Movie reviews, Blu-ray releases, beer pairings, games, and more. Welcome to your new home for horror. This is Civil Gore.
Hey there, everybody. Welcome to the August Discmemberment of the Civil Gore podcast. I'm your host, Tim.
And this is Brian. And I could have sworn we literally just finished the July Discmemberment. That's how I guess even in COVID times now, summer goes fast. How unfair is that?
Does. It's weird because every day seems the same, which you would think would make the summer feel long, but I feel like this month has just flown by. Like the days fly by for me. It's insane. It's playing weird tricks with time.
I know, and see, that's the problem with 2020. It's like it sucks so badly that even when you should be being bored by now from the same thing over, you managed to catch up with you in the summer. So now you're just going through the summer like it's motions. You just don't. It's all like you're just so used to the boredom, I think, is what happened. And how rotten is that?
Yeah. We went to the beach for the first time the other day, which was a nice little break. You know, we went after hours. There was really nobody on the beach, so you could stay plenty far away from everybody, and that was a nice little break. I'm going to try to do that a little more often before the end of the summer, just to break up the monotony a little bit, I think.
Yeah.
All right, well, I guess we should get into it, Brian, because this month is insane. We have 34 releases this month, which might be a record for a Discmemberment so far.
I think it is, right?
I'm pretty sure it is. I don't think we've ever had 34 in 1 month. I mean, that's you can watch one of these a day and still not get through all of them before August is over. So,
well, and that's if you're saying ones per movie. There's a couple of sets in here, and
that's
TV
right,
series. So that's like not even like a little 2-hour increment. And there's one you may want to watch multiple times, probably just because of its absurdity. So we'll.
Yeah. So let's get right into it, guys. This is our August Discmemberment.
Wait, no, please, God! No, don't cut off my...
All right, Brian, so kicking things off for Tuesday, August 4th, we have 4 releases, and this week surprised me because I was like, oh, there's only 4 releases. Well, this is going to be a slim month. Wrong. They just started it off slow to trick us.
Yeah.
So we've got 4 releases this week, and the first one up is from Unearthed Films, and it's called House of Flesh Mannequins, which I kind of like the name of that.
Yeah, wouldn't flesh mannequins be people?
Pretty much, yeah. This one's from 2009, and I will read the description. A loner artist, which aren't all artist loners, really.
Pretty much. Except our friend Chris Rankin. He's quite popular and
he's a Renaissance man.
He's actually the exact opposite because he knows everybody and talks to everybody. So
that's right. That's true. A loner artist with a history of abuse meets a beautiful woman who takes an interest in his life and work, leading to a chilling path of tragedy. So this one, the trailer looked really low budget, and I described it as a low budget David Lynch.
It was.
But there is a fair warning. There's a boob skewering scene.
Boob skewering. I like boob. You got to say boob.
I like boob. Well, because you're skewering, so I figured you couldn't just do like a boob skewering. It had to be a boob skewering.
Yeah, this one, you described that good. I also said it's definitely the low budget David Lynch. I said, should we name it like David Pinch? You know, because he's like pinching the budget. But
pennies, yeah.
I also think this is like one Tommy Wiseau scene from being the foreign version of The Room. You know, like because it has someone named Poison Rouge in it. I mean, just like all these weird things. Like I could just see him walking in and going like, "Oh, hi, Mark." You know, so it's like you got the whole thing going on there with that one. This
was not in the running for pick of the week. Let's put it that way.
It was that. Yeah, but I will say what it does earn itself is as like more than maybe any other disc we've reviewed, set the tone for a month better than any other movie that I've seen.
This is a weird month. There's some crazy stuff this month. Like the trailers were hugely entertaining to go through. I mean, boob skewering is probably,
that's run of the mill
course
now.
this month.
Yeah.
That's run of the mill, you know. So we'll continue on. So next up, Brian.
Yeah, you had to give me this one. This is my living nightmare when I tell you.
Yeah.
So it's called Swallow from Shout Factory 2019. So at least you know although there's no really special features on this, which I'm surprised from a Shout Factory, but anyway, it's Hunter, a newly pregnant housewife, finds herself increasingly compelled to consume dangerous objects. As her husband and family tighten their control over her life, she must confront the dark secret behind her new obsession. And now, why I say that's my biggest nightmare is because one of my oddest fears is that I'm going to swallow something I'm not supposed to. And now I don't mean in terms of like, all of a sudden I'm going to be driving by and decide to devour a car or something like that. It's not that. It's just I think I mentioned this in the show when I had a traumatic experience when I was like 5 years old and I swallowed a one of those sour balls that were like perfectly like sphere.
Yeah,
and when I saw her eat the marble, I got like PTSD in this. In the trailer, she like swallows a marble whole. And so, yeah, it's stuff like that, but it's stuff like I'm like always afraid that like when I know this is ridiculous, when I had a retainer, like I was afraid a piece was going to come off and go down my throat and stuff like that, like weird stuff. So, yeah, this one would actually probably freak me out, although I think I figure I have to watch it to kind of exercise that demon, you know?
Did I ever tell you about saving Joshua from choking that time?
No. Am I going to be traumatized again?
Yeah, when he was, he was a little fella. He was in kindergarten, yes, he was 5. And we had gone to a party in his class, and we were sitting there, and he ate one of those those cheese cubes.
Mm.
And so he swallowed, and he started choking. And we were, doing the normal thing, like patting him on the back, trying to get him to cough it up. And then all of a sudden, he just collapsed. Which then God. I knew it was. Then I knew like this is serious. Like he's got this lodged in his throat. So everybody was kind of like standing around like in shock and not doing anything. So I grabbed him and I started doing the Heimlich maneuver on him.
Oh, wow.
And meanwhile, Olivia was like trying to like open his mouth to try to see if she could snag it with her finger. Because they say, sometimes if you can see it.
You can kind of scoop it out if it's something like that.
So,
yeah.
And about that time, after I had like given him 1 or 2 couple thrusts, he coughed up the cheese. And it was the scariest moment I've ever had as a parent.
Oh my God!
Like I thought he was gonna die. Like it flashed through my mind, like, oh my God, I'm gonna watch my son die right in front of me because he had choked on it. So I am terrified of those cheese cubes. Don't ever give your toddlers cheese.
Yeah, well, no, and that's my dad did the same for me. Like I still remember I was choking on it, and it's so even though I was like 5 or 6 years old, I still remember this. I think my parents were divorced or at least separated by that point because I remember it was a birthday party for me or we were there at my aunt's for our birthday. I don't know if it was my necessarily birthday party or anything because we wouldn't have had that at my aunt's, and I still remember it to this day. Like it was me and some of my cousins, we were like going like and like slurping in and out the little balls to be silly, and I slurped in too much, and that's how it got stuck. And I still remember they didn't realize I was choking. But I remember turning over to see where my aunt and my mom were, and I remember like literally the image of crawling there, seeing them, and start when like everything started to fade out. And next thing I know, I just remember like a what I described at that point was a punch to the stomach, but it was my dad who saw it from afar and came around and gave me the Heimlich. And then I remember them like holding me upside down just to make sure it all got out. but yeah, so it's like ever since then I would be terrified of eating those things. It took me years to be even eat one of those like dum lollipops because in case it came off the stick. And that actually did happen to me another time where a lollipop came off its stick and it was one of those really big ones, so I had it wedged in my mouth. Not that I was worried I was going to choke on it, but it was like literally I was like, how am I get this out of my mouth? Because it was like so
scary, man. Yeah, there's so many dangerous things for kids to eat. But
I know
this one, this trailer looked really good. I mean, assuming you don't have an aversion to weird swallowing things,
and if you don't, we probably just gave you one. But
yeah. But it's again like one of those very artistic A1 style.
Yeah,
is it A1? No, A23.
A23. Yeah, exactly.
I'm thinking of the
exactly
steak sauce. Sorry.
Yeah,
I'm thinking of the steak sauce. No, the studio. It has that same kind of vibe to it. I really want to see this one. It looks really cool.
Yeah, I think I'll have to see it anyway. I mean, look, if something like how many times have I complained that I'm like, well, this really doesn't scare me or anything because I've seen it before. Maybe this is the kind of movie I need, stuff that like really hits home to scare me.
Yeah, there you go. All right, next up, another Shout Factory release. This is The Soul Collector from 2019. An old man, fated to collect souls for eternity, seeks atonement after trading his daughter's soul. So this one, the trailer reminded me a lot of those. You typically have seen these before. I'm trying to think of maybe the Skeleton Key was one of them. The Messengers, those where a family moves out to the country in the South and weird things start happening. It kind of has that same vibe, but I feel like this one has a bit of a twist to it that might make it a little better than those movies. I don't know.
Speaking of that, do you think it has to have to say? I think one of the most commonly used horror tropes has to be family moving to a new location. I mean, moving is traumatizing enough just without any problems. But yet this alone, like this, but in horror movies, how many times is someone moving into a new house, whether it's a weird neighborhood where, I mean, we just saw it with 1BR, if you see it with a weird or an odd, like, person living in the house or an entity or something. I mean, it's amazing anyone still moves.
Yeah. It's about like the, bunch of college kids going on vacation to the cabin or the whatever on a road trip, and they stop at the gas station type thing. I mean, it's way on up there with common horror tropes for sure. Yeah,
speaking of that, I do have a story I want to tell, but I think I'm going to save it for our main episode because I want to keep this one light on the comedy. And although this might be kind of funny in the end, I don't know. I feel like it wasn't funny for me at the time, so I'll tell you. We'll save that one for later. But don't worry, I promise everyone I will go over it. So.
All right. So, Brian, you get to do our first pick of the week, and we both agreed on this one.
Yeah, I think we did the whole month again.
I think we did, yeah.
But, I mean, these were one of those ones where it's kind of obvious. But, so this one, our pick of the week is from RLH Entertainment, and that's Satan's Slaves. That was a Shudder original, I believe.
Yeah.
I didn't get to see it. I was upset. I know you did see it, so I'll definitely check this out, though. So, it's after dying from a strange illness that she suffered for 3 years, a mother returns home to pick up her children. And this trailer just makes it look phenomenal. So this is really one good that I definitely plan on getting. I don't know if I'm going to get the disc. I'm definitely plan on watching. I don't know if I'm going to buy the disc for it because I think it's still on Shudder. But it's definitely one that I've had on my list, and it just, those movies and plus, I think we've been getting so many screeners and stuff this past year, and there's just so much to watch that it's almost getting hard now to
you can't keep
everything.
Up with it all. This one, if you guys have not seen it though, go out and watch it. It's really, really good. It's a foreign film. I'm not sure which country. Sorry, I did not look it up before this, but it's so creepy. Like the mother dies, and the children have a view of the cemetery from right outside the cemetery is like literally right outside their window. So you have all these creepy scenes of them kind of like looking out at this cemetery and wondering if their mom's going to come back because she died. And oh man, it is super tense, super, super creepy. I loved this movie. If you like those foreign ghost movies, oh man, this one's great.
Okay, so it's Indonesia, by the way. It's Indonesia and South Korea, but it says the language spoken in it is Indonesian.
Okay, yeah, and they know how to do supernatural ghost movies.
Yeah.
So
and it's got one of the coolest AKAs, kind of, not an official one, but it's known as Studzi Diabla.
Ooh.
So I don't know what that is.
Actually, the only criticism I have of this movie is the title doesn't really match the movie. Because you think Satan's Slaves is going to be about a cult or something, but it's not. It's a ghost story. So I don't know why they called it. I really don't know why they called it Satan's Slaves unless I maybe missed it when I watched it. But definitely highly recommended. So that is our pick of the week.
Yes.
So looking back on August 4th, we had House of Flesh Mannequins from 2009, Swallow from 2019, The Soul Collector from 2019, and then our pick of the week, Satan's Slaves. Fantastic movie. And again, I think it's still on Shudder, so go check it out. All right, that brings us to August 11th, and this is where the releases start heating up. So we had 7 releases this week. The first one up is The Wretched from IFC Films. This was a 2020 release, and the description is: a defiant teenage boy struggling with his parents' imminent divorce faces off with a 1,000-year-old witch who is living beneath the skin of and posing as the woman next door. And the trailer for this one started out, I put on here, it looked like E.T. as a horror movie because it looks like a monster movie.
It does.
Really. And then I found out as you progress in the trailer, and then it's not a spoiler because it was just in the synopsis, but you find out it's really like this witch-like entity that kind of has a monstrous form to it. And it looks really, really creepy, really, really good. And I'm just wondering why all monsters sound like Predator now.
Yeah, and but I will say too, it's weird too because that kind of had an '80s vibe to it, but with a modern twist at the same time. So like almost like those movies, oh my God, what was that great one? Summer of '84. Super 8, like that. It had that retro
it does have that vibe.
Feel to it, like a Stranger Things kind of vibe, and like you said, E.T.
Very Stranger Things.
It had that kind of vibe to it, but definitely more modernized. Like it didn't have the visual aesthetics of that, just the feeling of it.
Right. Yeah. But I don't know why. It always bugs me when like films have these like trends and like every movie uses it, and this one is can't do the voice, but it's like. It does like the clicking thing. I don't know. I can't do it. There's a guy that
it was
I
like
used to work with. Yeah,
it was like
there's a guy I used to work with. He could do the exact Predator voice, the little clicking thing, and he would do it in the elevator randomly, full of strangers. It was really
that's awesome.
He was a weird guy, but it was kind of cool.
Yeah.
So I don't know why they did this in this one too. Everything has that clicky insect sound.
Yeah, maybe they like whatever the company did, like just bought. Well, it's IFC Films, so maybe they bought like the sound effect and now own it. And they're like, all right, to make our money back on this, we need to use it in 7 out of the next 10 films we do.
That's right.
Regardless,
Quiet Place didn't they have that sort of that sound? And then Stranger Things, the Gorgon.
Oh yeah, you're
sound.
Right. It really
they
was.
They all do. Yeah.
Maybe it's like number 5 on the sound bank. You know, like
well, they all look the same too. Like all of them have that opening flower head thing now going on. Like that's.
There must have been like an effects package on like Adobe After Effects that they just all bought. I don't know.
Yeah, Demogorgon effects pack.
Yeah. Well, it's like, do you ever see that movie? One of the greatest comedies, I think, of the 80s was Albert Brooks' Modern Romance. And in it, he plays like this film editor in it, and he's working on a film that has this space thing, and I guess at one point he's working, he's having like a tense day, and he goes in there and they're trying to edit, they need a sound effect, and so they rent like the sound, they go to the sound studio and they're trying to do this thing, and they go, all right, we need a sound effect of the walking, we need a sound effect of him running in space, and the guy goes like, well, what if it's one of those ships that have no air? And he goes, you know what, like just we need a heavy footstep, because it was supposedly George Kennedy running. So he goes, what about the Hulk? He goes, I see Hulk running, and the guy says, I don't think that's gonna work. And he's like, no, I want to hear it. And it's him going, and it's stomping, and he goes, whoa. He goes, why is that called Hulk running? That's Hulk screaming. That's the effect. And it was like so funny. So they end up having to do it like Foley by like running around holding stuff. But it just made me think of it. It was like back in the day when like audio effects, like, you know, you just pull it up out of this database of stuff. You know, now probably they still kind of do it to extreme, but it was funny to see back even in the 80s to have that same kind of a thing where literally they were trying to reuse sound from other things and just seeing how it didn't work. It was kind of funny.
It is amazing that the Foley stuff fascinates me, how they do stuff like that. And then I had read one time, and I did not realize this, and this like blew my mind. Like for the Olympics and stuff, like when they show rowing or when they show like skiing, they said they don't really have microphones that can pick up the sound of the oars going in the water, you know, when they're in a race, or if somebody's skiing downhill, they can't capture the sound of them slushing through the snow.
Right.
That's literally dubbed in after the fact.
Wow, I don't think I knew that.
Yeah, to make it look so people watching at home, it sounds real, but all that stuff's fake. They don't have microphones every 5 feet down the ski slope capturing the sound of the skier. So it's really crazy.
And I bet you it doesn't even sound like a swoosh in real life. If you go there, they probably like.
It's like the first time I went to a college basketball game, and I couldn't understand what was going on because you couldn't hear the shoes squeaking on the floor. You know how they amplify that on TV? You can hear the shoes like squeaking. You can hear the ball, whoosh, goes through the net. You can hear all that. But in like a real basketball game, it's not very loud.
No.
It's kind of quiet.
And it's funny you said that too, because last night, from when we were recording this, was the first New York Rangers game back. They had an exhibition game with the Islanders, and obviously there's no crowds. But what they did is they added in a sound effect, and our buddy Mike Troyce, who's, you know, he's familiar with all that kind of stuff, the way they do that. He actually said they used the NHL video game to simulate the sound effect of the crowd, because there's a Ranger Islander game, and that Ranger Islander game is one of the most intense rivalries in hockey, and the crowd is into it on every single second. So they had to constantly do it. So it was still, and I have to say they did a really decent job. I mean, it also could be that it didn't seem weird to me as much because I played the video game a million times, but it was actually pretty well done, like to the point of where at some points I'm like, oh, I'm surprised they didn't because it was like a penalty that shouldn't have been called, and I'm like, I thought to myself, I'm like, why didn't the crowd react and boo like they usually do? It's because they only kind of had the basic sound, but when they did score, they kind of amplified it. You could tell a little bit.
That's weird. Isn't that so weird? And, all this stuff, your whole life has been a lie. You've been watching all this stuff and didn't realize that most of it's dubbed in. I don't know. It's really, really bizarre. I remember the first time I went to a professional baseball game, and I couldn't tell what was going on because I thought there was announcers. Yeah, same with me in the hockey game. I went there and I was watching it. My dad said, "Are you having a good time?" And this is me after watching Ranger games for years on TV. And I got to my first one. I said, "Yeah, I love it, but there's something weird." And he goes, "Because you're only hearing the audio of the actual play. You're not hearing the announcer." And I'm like, and it dawned on me, I'm like, oh my God, he's right. When you're used to watching it on TV, you're used to hearing the announcer and the color commentary, and I had no clue. I was 14 when I went to my first baseball game, and I'm sitting there going, I didn't even know the game had started. And I'm like, all of a sudden the guys running around the base. I'm like, what the hell's going on? And I'm like, and they're just there was nothing. I was like, what is going on here? I can't understand what's going on. Yeah. I'm not a big baseball fan anyway, so I really had no way of
that's probably why you see those old timers sometimes with a little radio so they can hear because they like to hear what's going on. Because you don't know sometimes.
I can see why. It's really strange.
Yeah. I mean, now with the days of smartphones, if anything happens, it'll probably send you an alert so and so got injured on that last play, and I'm like, oh. Really? It didn't look like that.
I've still yet to go to. I've never been to a professional football game. I really want to go.
Yeah, those are fun. I used to go to the Jet games a lot. They're really fun. But
all right.
Well, now that we've turned into a sports podcast,
somehow, that's right. All right.
So let's move on to the next one. And this one actually is kind of sports theme named because you never know what happens sports in a split second. And that is the title of this next movie by MVD Visual from 1992. It's a Rutger Hauer vehicle. And that is not that he played a car in it, but you know what I mean.
I love describing things as a vehicle.
Well, you know where I got that from is because it was a Family Guy, and the Stewie once said it. He goes "Ooh, it was something like a Rutger Hauer vehicle," and he said it like that, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm using that every time now. And
I used to read all the entertainment magazines and stuff, and they'll use that term a lot. This is a Tom Hanks vehicle.
Yeah, but we stole it now, and it is now an official Civil War vehicle to use that. But anyway, so the topic of this one is in a futuristic London, the rising sea levels mean that large areas are under feet of water. Hauer plays a cop who previously lost his partner to some strange creature. Now the creature is back and is after him. So it's like Rutger Hauer starring in Jaws 9. I used to see this actually on cable back in the day. I remember this one.
Yeah, I loved how you described it as a 90s, 80s movie.
It's what it is. It's it's totally 80s, but then you look, it's 1992 or something.
Oh, you know what I forgot? I'm going to sneak in before you do the extras for this one. I did forget to mention on The Wretched. There is an audio commentary with the Pierce brothers and a commentary with composer Devin Burrows, right. But we got sidetracked on Foley artist and sports dubbing. So
yeah, we went way off. Well, this one has it's actually for discs go from this MVD Visual, which I don't remember hearing from. They have a packed disc here.
Very good disc. Yeah,
it's got a new commentary by action film historian Mike Leader and filmmaker Arnie Venema. Now,
is this a new film historian?
It is, but I know a little bit about him. So, ironically, he's actually someone who never leads. He's actually someone that follows. In fact, he has this habit, from what I understand, of instantly repeating whatever someone said just after it, with only a slight undetectable variance.
Okay.
So if let's say he's with here Arnie Venema will say, I really shot that in low light, and he would say, I really shot that in dim light. You know, it's like that's what he does. That's Mike Leader. But the funny thing is, he's actually like he's a pretty cool guy though. Anyway, though, and he's likable, so it doesn't really affect his friend base, because I think everyone just still wants to be his friend because he's cool.
Well, that's good. Yeah, that's really good.
You know, it's better to be. I mean, they say better to be a leader, but you know, he only does by name only.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
There's really not much more to say about him. But,
I concur.
But it's also got new Great Big Bloody Guns, producer Laura Gregory and actor Alistair Neil Duncan on Split Second. New Call Me Mr. Snips, an interview with composer Stephen W. Parsons. New Stay in Line, an interview with line producer Lori Borg. Well, that's really getting there. Line producer?
Yeah.
I bet, and Lori Borg, I understand she assimilates right into the role though. Come on, you knew that was coming.
I knew it was coming, yeah.
New More Blood, an interview with creature effects designer Cliff Wallace. New Shoot Everything, an interview with cinematographer Clive Tickner.
I love these names. These are
this one is full of names. Original 1992 split-second making-of featurette that includes interviews with stars Rutger Hauer, Kim Cattrall, Alistair Neil Duncan, Michael J. Pollard, and writers Gary Scott Thompson, and more. However, basically just in an odd choice, Rutger Hauer and Michael J. Pollard are the only ones actually in the film. No, the others are in it too. They're in there. Original 1992 behind-the-scenes featurette with effects creator Stephen Norrington cast and crew. You know, for this movie that really I wouldn't say was a big like hit in any way, it had a lot of special features. They had the foresight to really have a lot of special features for 20 plus years down the road.
Yes, they did.
to get to have a good special edition. They must have thought of that in like a split second, but split second Japanese cut, full frame with burnt in Japanese subtitle. What is that? Oh, that means you can't avoid it. I guess you can't turn them off.
Can't. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, they're in there.
Burnt, that's the first time I've heard that term. I like that. Burnt in.
Yeah, remember the old TVs? You could actually do that. The plasmas, if you turn you left a video game on pause.
I've still got 2 plasma TVs.
Oh wow! Yeah, 10 back in the day. Yeah, you got to watch this on a plasma TV and see if it literally permanently burns in your Japanese.
You know, I mean, the blacks are so good. Like, it has super good black levels and color. I mean,
yeah,
really good quality. But man, they are energy hogs, and they will burn in if you leave something on them.
Yeah, they're too much stress for me. That's why I never got one. I was too tempted because I know I've left things on pause way too often. I'm like, I'll just destroy the TV in 2 seconds.
They don't even make them anymore, so I don't have to worry about it when I upgrade mine.
Yeah.
So.
7 promotional TV clips. US VH home video promo, theatrical trailer, reversible sleeve featuring original newly commissioned artwork by The Dude Designs created exclusively for this release.
He really ties the cover art together.
Yeah, he really does. He's the dude. A collectible mini poster featuring original style VHS artwork. That's kind of neat.
Wow, that's a packed disc for that movie.
Yeah, really. I mean, it's like, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's like, I don't, like, if you're a fan of Split Second, this is probably your one and only chance to have everything from it, and you better jump on it, because I can't see this being re-released in any time soon.
All right, so this is I'm going to skip over our pick of the week and go right to release number 4, which is from Mina. Never heard of that one. This was Brutal Massacre, a comedy from 2007, and this one shocked me at first because I saw Gunnar Hansen in it. I was like, wait a minute, he died, and then I thought that this was 2007. So I guess I'll read this description.
Yeah.
What has the world come to when the director of Sasquatch at the Mall can't get a gig? That's what horror auteur Harry Penderecki is wondering. Once considered a horror legend with a string of hits like Bowel Movement, People, Pesticide, and I'll Take the Ring Back and the Finger Too, he now finds himself on the outside looking in at Hollywood. Determined to make his comeback, Penderecki returns to direct what he believes will be his ultimate masterpiece, Brutal Massacre. Follow along with the documentary crew to discover whether Harry will reassert his genius or remain a relic of the 80s. And Brian, I felt like this could go one of two ways. It could be either surprisingly good and funny or really bad. And I don't know which. It's very low budget, but it does have some big names in it. Like, it's got Gunnar Hansen. It's got Brian O'Halloran from Clerks.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's got a couple of Kevin Smith people in there I saw.
Yeah.
Like, it's got really Jerry Bednob. Remember he was in Zack and Miri and 40-Year-Old Virgin?
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, they got a bunch of people. I said, is this Jay and Silent Joe Bob Strike Back? Because that guy was a total Joe Bob impersonator. He even did
Definitely
the voice down pat.
Yeah.
He had the voice down pat. Yeah, that was good. But I feel like I said it felt like it was filmed the same day a Kevin Smith film was shot, and he said, "Hey, can you film more scenes for our film?" Because it seems like a bunch of people they just kind of got together.
What Kevin Smith films were shooting in 2007. Somebody look that up.
Yeah, we need to check. But actually does have David Naughton, so that's usually an automatic watch for me. I love David Naughton.
Yeah,
gotta watch.
I kind of want to check this one out. It looks kind of fun.
Yeah, no, I do want to see this. Actually, you know what? I want to say I read something about it previously. I don't know if it was on one of the Bloody Disgusting articles or something, or Dread Central, one of those two. I kind of want to, like, when I started to read this, I kind of want to say that I read something about this previously.
It does have a lot of features. It's got a behind-the-scenes featurette, deleted scenes, on-the-set featurette, photo gallery, LMB poster gallery, What Happened Was True, a director's commentary, Weekend of Horrors, Brutal Massacre.
Oh, maybe that's where. Maybe it was in a Fangoria or something.
Oh, yeah.
We read that with the Weekend of Horrors. Maybe it was something like that or one of those kind of things.
Theatrical trailers and a limited run slipcover with brand new artwork created exclusively for this release.
That's a common trend.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the next one. Wow. Okay, so I remember this too.
I remember this one too.
Yeah, this is from MVD Visual. They're churning out some old school ones here and it's funny. It's also from 1992. It's like they said, guys, we haven't released anything from 1992. let's find what's not been released yet. And they found Split Second and this next one, which was Mikey, which was a Brian Bonsall vehicle from. And if you remember him, of course, he played the latest kid on Family Ties, the one that they had later on.
Yeah.
But anyway, so it's the latest kid. Oh boy. So although Mikey is just a little boy, he is capable of anything. Every family Mikey lives has a series of unexplained accidents, and hence he's removed from home to home. Oh, he's moved from home to home. After his original family die accidentally, Mikey is taken by a
die.
I know, but did you die? After originally oh my god. After his original family die accidentally, Mikey is taken by authorities and placed into the care of adoptive parents. Of course, they eventually come to learn that. That's it.
Oh my god. This was the trend of evil children things from the early 90s. Remember there was that Problem Child movie with John Ritter? And then there was that Macaulay Culkin vehicle.
Yeah.
Where he played an evil kid. I mean, they were.
Oh yeah, the Good Son. Yeah.
They churned these bad kid movies out right and left back then.
Well, this one was definitely a Brian Bonsall vehicle. That's what we need to do, Tim. You know how they have that little series of Matchbox cars with all the famous cars?
Yeah.
We need to come out with the vehicles of the people that we mention here, like a little Brian Bonsall. Like Oldsmobile or something, But anyway, this one you spotted that too, and that's what got me intrigued. I forgot Ashley Lawrence was in this though.
Yeah,
because you know her so much from Hellraiser that when you see her at anything else, she seems misplaced.
Yeah, it's like whoa, wait a minute, what's the girl from Hellraiser?
Yeah, why is she in there? But this one, this one was like one of those ones that just it's like it's like a poor man's Omen kind of thing almost at some level.
Oh my god! Even well, we'll get to that.
We'll get to that.
Even Omen has poor man's Omen.
Yeah, it really does. And actually, I love my typos in this. I don't remember Ashley Lawrence was in this. But it does. That would mean I would rewatch it again because we love Ashley Lawrence. She's awesome.
Yeah.
And I was so bummed when she was supposed to be at the New Jersey HorrorCon we were going to be at, and she had to cancel.
Know.
I was bummed because she was one I was really excited. But hopefully, Ashley, because we know you listen to the podcast, of course. So hopefully you'll be at one of our ones soon. But,
yes.
But anyway, so this has a couple of good things in there. It's got a new feature-length making of documentary, The Making of Mikey, with star Brian Bonsall. Director Dennis Dimster Denk. What? Why couldn't that guy be a film historian?
Fake.
Why
Dennis
could
Dimster Denk?
Yeah. Why couldn't that be a film historian? That would have been so much fun.
That sounds like a Dr. Seuss character.
No, but it's 4Ds. Let's call him 4D from now on. He's director Dennis Dimster Denk. And this is editor and producer Nathan Zahavi. Not Nathan, but Nathan Zahavi. And director of photography Thomas Jewett. What really? Really, what is with these people?
That is a cavalcade of characters.
Okay, and then we get our visit from again. It's new Mikey. They brought him back, so he's still alive and well as director Dennis Dimster Denk, 4D as we like to call him. New Mikey Anatomy of a Scene. So he actually spent another 13 minutes talking about this film, apparently, and then a theatrical trailer and a collectible mini poster, which I bet you is Brian Bonsall, with like a knife or something.
My favorite color is pink, said director Dennis Dimster Dink.
Yes. Now, how do we fill the remaining 12 minutes and 36 seconds of this new featurette that I unbearably signed on for? Yeah.
That's a lot. There's a feature-length documentary for the making of Mikey. Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Literally. I don't. And think about it though. Is there a commentary on it? No, there's no commentary on it, because like I say, it might as well have just done the commentary on it. But like, wow, literally, how could you, like, why would there even be that footage exist still?
Why would you watch that?
I don't know.
Oh, I don't know. I guess if you want something that's slightly worse than the movie.
I guess it's like, bye. I can't believe I watched this. Let me see now who made it. Oh boy.
Oh, okay. All right. So next up we have Mondo Macabro.
Yes.
Whoa,
we're back.
We haven't had Mondo Macabro.
No, not in a while, actually. I'm glad it's back.
I am glad. I love Mondo Macabro. I love saying it. So they're coming out with one called Gemini from 1999. This one, I don't know the country of origin of this one. It's another foreign film, but it looked pretty cool. Country doctor Yukio, might be Japanese. Country doctor Yukio couldn't ask for much more from life. Well respected in the community, he has a flourishing practice and a beautiful wife, albeit one who can't remember her past. Yukio prefers to associate with the upper class, and his disdain for the less fortunate causes him to turn away from those in need. But soon his storybook life begins to fall apart with the murder of his parents and the appearance of a dangerous man who looks exactly like him and is intent on taking over his life. And I actually like the look of this one. It looks creepy, has a doppelganger type creep factor to it, and it looked pretty cool.
Oh, this is from 1999. I was looking at the wrong year. I was trying to find it for you while we did it. This is... Okay, now I got to scroll all the way down. Sometimes they don't have it in the front.
I want to say I read
Japan.
That
it is Japan, yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to say I read that it was Japanese. That's what I thought. It does have a few good extras. It's got a new master of the film, making of Gemini, directed by Takashi Miike, which is good. Venus premiere featurette, a makeup demonstration, behind the scenes, 7 episodes, optional English subtitles, and Mondo Macabro previews.
I think that's worth the disc right there.
Yeah,
just because we'll hear them say 17 times, "New from Mondo Macabro."
I don't think they say it like we do, though.
They probably don't.
They probably
Wouldn't it be funny
Mondo
if
Macabro.
Mondo Macabro. It's like some New York
Mondo
cab
Macabro.
driver.
Mondo from Chicago. Mondo Macabro.
Yeah, it's definitely. Yeah, why is it like Eugene Levy and it's like the polka guy.
So where are we at this week? Good Lord Almighty.
Yeah, we're all over the place. Okay, the final release of the week before our pick of the week is Unearthed Films and Live Feed from 2006. It says 5 young adults are about to find themselves in a fight for their lives, pitted against evil itself. While on vacation in a foreign city, one of the 5 makes a seemingly innocent, albeit ignorant mistake, and soon all of them will realize the cost of such an inconsequential action. Why was this just like an eloquently written sentence in the middle of
really
the... Half the time we don't even get a complete synopsis, and that one's uses every big word on the word of the day calendar. But, like Tim describes it. Well, anyway, it says a stranger appears to help them, but is it too little too late? And Tim described it as Hostel Strip Club Edition. But I described it a little worse. I said it looks like one of those movies that would be panned within another movie.
Yeah, it looks pretty... It looks very low budgety and weirdly sexually gory. Yeah. I don't know. It's really...
Yeah, I have no...
I could barely make out the trailer. The video quality on this trailer was so bad, you could barely see it.
Yeah, and we're not trying to insult it when we say low budget. It just really is, like, just off. Like, the whole visuals were low budget. I don't know.
If you've been listening to the show any length of time, you know that we don't use low budget as an insult. It's just a descriptor.
Yes.
So, that brings us to our pick of the week, and both Brian and I agreed on this one. This is Shout Factory's The Phantom of the Opera from 1962. This is, of course, a Hammer release, which was very exciting, since I'm in the middle of my Hammer horror project. The corrupt Lord Ambrose Darcy steals the life's work of the poor musical Professor Petrie. In an attempt to stop the printing of music with Darcy's name on it, Petrie breaks into the printing office and accidentally starts a fire, leaving him severely disfigured. Years later, Petrie returns to terrorize a London opera house that is about to perform one of his stolen operas. And this one puts the horror back in Phantom of the Opera because, now the musical and it's all romance and all this stuff. I like old school horror Phantom of the Opera like you see at the Universal Horror Makeup Show or whatever at the Universal Studios. That kind of Phantom of the Opera.
Yeah. Well, Tim, I just thought of it. I have a great Halloween mashup for you. You should go as Lord Ambrose Darcy the Mail Girl.
That would be a little scary. I don't want to know what that costume looks like.
Yeah, I don't know where I just have fishnet stockings and like some Lord regalia. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. This one is packed with extras though. We have new audio commentary with film historians. Yeah. Our British gentlemen Troy Howarth and Nathaniel Thompson, who magically metamorphosize into Statler and Waldorf.
Yes, they turn into puppet form, actually.
New The Men Who Made Hammer, Anthony Hines. New Phantom Triumphant, Edwin Astley and Hammer's Horror Opera, an interview with author David Huckvale. He sounds like somebody that would make salad dressing.
He would, like Huckvale's Green Goddess.
New Herbert Lom, The Soul Behind the Mask, an interview with film historian / screenwriter / novelist C. Courtney Joyner.
Yes,
Ryan, do you have a description for this guy?
I do. So, just a little known fact here, that first C also stands for Courtney. So his real name is Courtney Joyner. But, with all his accolades there, like historian, screenwriter, novelist, he didn't want to sound pretentious, so he dropped the first Courtney to just go with C. Courtney. But obviously, much to his chagrin, now that dropping of the first name to an initial has become the symbol for being pretentious. So ironically, it was just a massive backfire for him. But unlike most pretentious people, he's still like a just easy kind of going guy, and he's just like
But he accidentally always stumbles into seeming pretentious.
He does, like no matter what he does. But he's like a chill guy at the same time. He's like, hey, call me Seacourt. Excuse me though, there's only one olive in my martini. So it's like, he has that, he tries to walk that fine line, but it's difficult.
Yeah, poor guy. Are you keeping up with this, Cody?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you owe us one, by the way, Cody.
Yeah.
I know we distracted you with a really cool watch party, which we'll discuss in our actual episode, but that's but Cody, you got your work cut out today. Give you a lot of descriptors there.
New interview with special effects artist Brian Johnson, The Making of Phantom of the Opera, narrated by Edward D'Souza, plus interviews with Richard Golan, Alan Lavender.
Peter Cushing, are you around?
You smell just like Alan. Bit.
Yeah, I know.
And Edward D'Souza, the longer TV version in standard definition, the actual trailer, and still gallery.
Nice.
So this one is a packed disc here.
Yeah, I like that one. There's no way that could not have been pick of the week.
Out of this bunch, no. Now, on another week...
Are you saying that the Mikey and the Split Second didn't tickle your fancy for a moment?
No. I'm sorry. Now, I will say this next week coming up. Let's review this one real quick.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about it. But so for August 11th, we had The Wretched from 2020. We had Split Second from 1992, the Rutger Hauer vehicle. We had Brutal Massacre, a comedy from 2007, starring most of the cast of Clerks.
Yeah.
MVD Visual Mikey. That is the Brian Bonsall vehicle you may remember from 1992. Mondo Macabre,
or 10 minutes ago.
Yeah. Gemini from 1999, a Japanese horror doppelganger film. Unearthed Films, live feed from 2006. And then our pick of the week, The Phantom of the Opera from 1962. Shout Factory Collector's Edition. Next up, August 18th. And now this one, I would say, could potentially have multiple picks of the week. There are a couple in here I think you could make a good argument for at least two of these to be picked up.
Yeah, there were actually, for me it was 3 that I was stuck on. Yeah. But it was just, but we'll get to it why. I mean, they're some are just because of the substance, some are the packed disc. We told you how we kind of go through things, but so this will be good. But so I guess you'll start off with one of the ones, and I know both of us would be it would be on any other week might have been the one.
Yeah, I think Brian, you get to do this one.
Oh, that's right.
I did Lord Darcy the Mail Girl.
That's right. So this is an hour release, and it's Gamera, the complete collection from 1865 to 2006. Is that right?
No,
that should be 1965, shouldn't it?
They did not have Gamera in 1865.
Yeah, I was like looking at that. I'm like, wow, they have been a lot of Gamera.
It was silent film, and it's like. Gamera,
that's when
City.
That's when it was candid Gamera, and they would like sneak up on him and do stuff. But
you had to put a nickel in and hand crank it.
Yeah, it was hand cranked Gamera. It was like wasn't even like on film. It was like on puppets. No. But yeah, no. Of course, all Godzilla or monster movie fans know of Gamera. He was very popular, and so it's the original Hero and a Half Shell returns for this
copyright infringement.
Yeah, I know, but that's great. That's a great description.
That's pretty good, yeah.
For the first time ever worldwide, all 12 tales of the adventures of everyone's favorite Titanic terrapin are collected. I
love this. Whoever wrote this is a genius.
I would love to be known as the Titanic terrapin. I think. Are collected together in one deluxe Blu-ray box set. This limited edition collector's set traces the decades-long evolution of Gamera from the friend of all children in his more lighthearted earlier films to the guardian of the universe in the groundbreaking 1990s reboot series, often hailed as 3 of the best kaiju films ever made. And now I would love, and you know it's coming because they're becoming these box sets all together. There is going to be like a 50-disc mega set of, I think, all these kaiju films from that Godzilla
that would be so
world.
Cool.
If that thing was $500, I'd still get it because that's like something I'm like. I think would be one of the most proudest pieces. I mean, it literally might even have to get its own monolith because it'd be so big. But like something like that is something that I'm hoping one day comes out.
Did you see the trailer for this? The video looks amazing,
right? I thought it was like it looked brand new. It looked brand new, incredible. Yeah, I don't know if
that's just YouTube watching YouTube video of it. If that's any inkling of what this set looks like for these remastered movies, oh my gosh, it is incredible.
Well, I think if you look here, when I read to some of the descriptions, I think we'll see why it's been so good. So, both of us, this was a one, and like even though now I'm like, even though the one I know we picked still deserves it, I'm like, maybe we should second guess this, but it basically has. So it has all 12 uncut original Japanese versions of the films in high definition with lossless Japanese and English audio. So they definitely did a real restoration here. Then they also did 4K restorations, which is probably what we saw, of the critically acclaimed Hensai trilogy, Gamera the Guardian of the Universe, Gamera 2, Attack of the Legion, and Gamera 3, Revenge of Iris. Why does it follow like Star Wars almost, like Revenge of the Sith? But it says hours of new and archived bonus features, expert commentaries including August Ragone, David Kalat, and Steve Reif and Ed. What is this? Gadzuki? What is it? Godzilla? I'm just gonna say Ed Godzilla. No, it's Gadzuki. I wonder if that's where they got Gadzuki from. From like the kid, the Godzilla's son, maybe from this guy, Ed Gadzuki. I don't know. Interviews with cast and crew. And the worldwide Blu-ray premiere of Gamera, the Invincible, American theatrical version of the first film. It says a hardback 120-page comic book, including a 4-color reprint of the 4-issue Gamera comic series originally released by Dark Horse Comics in 1996, and the first ever English language printing of the prequel comic The Last Hope by Matt Frank and Joshua Bugosh. And then a perfect bound 80-page book, including a new retrospective on the series by Patrick Macias, Kaiju X-Ray. So holy cow, that is not even just the disc contents, but you're getting 2 books in there basically.
Yeah, this one is $126 on Amazon. So it's
actually,
not
you know
cheap.
what? That's not bad.
No, this is like
that's $10 a movie.
And for the hardback, you're getting hardback book and a hardback comic book.
And it's 4K. 4K movies are usually like you're getting 3 4K movies. Those are usually $35 a pop to begin with. That is actually a steal.
Yeah.
At that price.
I don't know. That was a hard choice to not pick that for pick of the week.
And I'm not even what I'd say a Gamera fan. I'm a Kaiju fan and a Godzilla fan. And and I love all those monster movies, but I wouldn't necessarily call myself a Gamera fan, but I'll tell you, this disc is tempting. I think, this might even be more tempting if we didn't just, pre-order that, which we had to pay already for the Friday the 13th one, which was so expensive.
Yeah.
Because, this is one I'm going to keep an eye on, I think, because these are kind of the sets that Amazon around the holidays and Black Friday, sometimes they'll do like like 40 to 50% off sometimes for like one-day lightning deals and stuff.
Oh yeah. You got to look out for the deals on these kind.
Yeah, these are things you got to kind of make a mark down on somewhere, whatever you keep. Like I have a spreadsheet on discs I plan to get. Put that on your spreadsheet and kind of set yourself a reminder to check Amazon every time you go on for something else, because you never know when this is just going to have a clearance. And because this would be so, and Arrow too. Remember, Arrow has their great sales. So around the holidays, so you keep an eye on this one. I'm telling you, if you guys want this, because this one, I mean, how often do you get movies from 1865, right? But that one was that's a tough one not to be the pick of the week. I feel bad. Yeah. I almost feel like giving it a co-pick of the week just because.
Well, we typically will do this would be our runner-up kind of thing.
Yeah,
so
that's
almost like a that's a strong argument for co-pick of the week.
Yeah.
So next up, another one from Arrow. This is Pitch Black 4K edition from 2000. I love this movie. In the not-too-distant future, a docking pilot makes a forced crash landing of her spacecraft on a distant planet. As the survivors explore the uncomfortably hot planet, they must band together. The planet is eerie, arid, and lifeless, but as the sun sets and the planet plunges into total darkness, other inhabitants emerge, including a fiendish murderer with a nose for blood. So this is, of course, the Vin Diesel vehicle.
And that's actually a person that actually has the name of a vehicle, so that's perfect.
This one is a packed disc for a 4K release. They could have just released this on 4K and been done with it.
They usually do, actually.
Yeah. This one's fantastic. This one also, in any other week, probably could have been a strong contender for pick of the week. It's got a brand new 4K restorations by Arrow Films of the theatrical and director's cuts of the film, approved by director David Toohey?
I think it's Toohey, yeah.
Toohey. Obviously in 4K. Original DTS sound. Archive commentary with director David Toohey and stars Vin Diesel and Cole Hauser. Archive commentary with director David Toohey, producer Tom Engelman, and visual effects supervisor Peter Chang. That's 2 commentaries. Nightfall, the making of Pitch Black, a newly filmed interview with director co-writer David Toohey. Black Box, Jackie's Journey, a newly filmed interview with actor Rihanna Griffith. Black Box, Shiaza's Last Stand, a newly filmed interview with actor Claudia Black. Black Box Bleach Bypass, a newly filmed interview with cinematographer David Egby. Black Box Cryo Locked, a newly filmed interview with visual effects supervisor Peter Chang. Black Box Primal Sounds, a newly filmed interview with composer Graham Revel. The Making of Pitch Black, a short behind-the-scenes featurette. Pitch Black Raw, a comparison between early CG tests and the final footage. Additional behind-the-scenes footage for the making of the film. 2004 archive bonus features, including an introduction by Toohey, A View into the Dark, and Chronicles of Riddick Visual Encyclopedia. Chronicles of Riddick was a great game, by the way, if you never played that one. It was based off the Riddick character. John's Chase Log, a short prequel narrated by Cole Hauser detailing the character's hunt for Riddick. The Chronicles of Riddick Dark Fury, an animated short film directed by Peter Chung that acts as a bridge point between Pitch Black and the Chronicles of Riddick, featuring vocal performances by Vin Diesel, Keith David, and Rihanna Griffith reprising their roles. Dark Fury bonus features, including Bridging the Gap, Peter Chung, the Mind of an Animator, A View into the Light, and a pre-animation version of the film. Slam City, a motion comic from the film's official website. Into Pitch Black, a TV special offering an alternative non-canon glimpse into what happened before and after the events of the film. Rave World Pitch Black event, footage of a dance music event held to promote the film. Theatrical trailers plus trailers for the 2 sequels and video game. Image galleries. Reversible sleeve featuring newly commissioned Night and Day artwork by Luke Priest. And first pressing only, a collector's booklet featuring new writing by Simon Ward on the film's creature designs, including a new interview with creature designer Patrick Topoulos, original production notes and information from the film's official website, and an archive interview with Vin Diesel from Starlog magazine, plus collectible O-card with night variant artwork by Luke Priest. Oh my gosh, I
didn't realize Starlog was still around at that point. I thought that was gone before this movie came out.
Yeah, I don't know, but that's it. So
I like those motion comics. I have one for the Watchmen, that Curse of the Black Freighter.
Yeah, those are cool.
Those are kind of fun.
I kind of want to get this disc. I may pick this one up at some point. Maybe not right away, but that's definitely on my wish list.
Yeah, well, that could definitely be one of your like when we finally get our 4K TVs, you can kind of
definitely
be like your opening gift to yourself.
Yeah.
So the next one, this is another one I could have been pick of the week just because we loved it so much, although it's not really packed with anything. But of course, that's the Image Entertainment release of Cursed Films, which of course that great Shudder documentary, which we actually just discussed last week with discussing The Omen, and that's Curse Films, in case you didn't know, is a 5-part documentary series which explores the myths and legends behind some of the Hollywood's notorious cursed horror film productions. And there's director audio commentary for all 5 episodes, which is kind of fun. So, I mean, I think there was, Twilight Zone, The Crow, The Omen, Exorcist, Poltergeist, and there's one more, I think, right? Or is that it?
I think that's it. There's like 5. Exorcist, Omen, Poltergeist, The Crow, and Twilight Zone. Yep.
Yeah. And I was like, we've talked all about that already, so we don't need to go into much more of it. But that's one I already have it pre-ordered. Actually, it's only $15 too on Amazon. Nice. So for that, it's great on Blu-ray, a $15 Blu-ray for that all 5 of those. And that's one I could see myself watching. I want to see with the director's commentary on those. I think that would be fun.
I would love to see the commentary for those. Yeah. Next up, another TV release. This is from Lionsgate Films, The Terror Infamy, which is basically The Terror Season 2. This was from 2019. In The Terror Infamy, the second installment of producer and Primetime Emmy winner Ridley Scott's horror-tinged anthology, World War II-era Japanese Americans on Southern California's Terminal Island are menaced by a bakemono, or folkloric specter, suffering forced evictions and imprisonment after the attack on Pearl Harbor. The Terminal Islanders are hounded by prejudice and injustice, as well as bad omens and bizarre deaths. One of them, Chester Nakayama, decides to take on the malevolent entity journeying to realms of evil in both the present and the distant past. So, the original Terror, if you don't know, The Terror was by Dan Simmons, and it's a fantastic book. Oh my gosh, I absolutely loved that book. It's about, if you've seen the first season of The Terror, it was about a crew that is trying to find the passage up north through the ice that doesn't exist, and they get stranded. And this is back in the 1800s. They get stranded. It was a real historical event, but in the book, they're being stalked by this creature, and that's how they disappear. So it's kind of a fictionalized version of the historic event. Fantastic novel. The first season of the TV show I watched most of, and it was pretty good. I would say the book was a lot better, but it's still entertaining, and I've heard good things about season 2. This is not based on the book in any way. They just kind of continued the anthology feel of this with a new location, a new setting. So I think this one looks cool. I definitely want to see it. I need to finish the Terror Season 1 first, but this one is on my list to watch for sure.
I think I saw a fake Sam Elliott too in the trailer,
Yeah, there's a lot of this going around.
So that'll be exciting. Next one's another. Boy, this is a month for Shudder here. This is one of the other movies that was on Shudder. I think it was one of the earlier Shudder originals too. For I think when Shudder really started getting big, and that's Prevenge from 2016.
I cannot tell you how many times I've started to watch this movie and have not watched it.
Same thing. It's like it's been on my watch list since the day it premiered. And there's nothing but good things you hear about it. And I always go to, but this Shudder keeps putting out so many good things. I never get a chance to there's just too many things. So,
yeah.
But in this one, is Widow Ruth is 7 months pregnant when, believing herself to be guided by her unborn baby, she embarks on a homicidal rampage, dispatching anyone who stands in her way. And Tim and I both, there's really not any special features on it, but Tim and I, as we said, we both always been meaning to see this, and we just don't know why we haven't yet.
One of these days, I'm going to, just like Cat O' Nine Tails, I'm going to watch that one day.
Maybe we'll make it a double feature.
Yeah. Okay, so next up we have Open 24 Hours. This is by a company called 4 Digital from 2018. After setting her serial killer boyfriend on fire, a paranoid, delusional woman gets a job at an all-night gas station. This one had a kind of a neat late 90s slasher feel, sort of a I Know What You Did Last Summer feel.
Yeah.
Maybe a little to it, because the guy's dressed in like a rain slicker type thing. But yeah, I kind of want to see this one. It looks pretty good.
Yeah, and I saw the Freddy vs. Jason guy, the one that played the friend in it.
Yeah. This does have an audio commentary by director Padraig Reynolds, an alternate ending, and the making of Open 24 Hours, a documentary. So that is on my list to watch.
Well, next one I got skip. It's the pick of the week. Okay, the next one is a Kino Lorber one, and this one is Those Who Deserve to Die, and it's a troubled veteran a troubled veteran returns home to resume his life, but he first must fulfill a dreadful family obligation. And I don't even know what to think of this one. I couldn't.
It's a weird trailer. It doesn't really. I didn't really understand the trailer, although there's this creepy girl in it that just kind of keeps staring at the camera. I don't really know what to think of this one.
Yeah, I don't know if it's actually a creepy kid movie or it just features a creepy kid, or I don't know. But in case we've sold you on it, there's deleted scenes, theatrical trailers, Malice of Alice, a mother-daughter portrait. That's cool, Malice of Alice. That sounds like an 80s metal band, though, doesn't it?
Yeah,
like
or
now, Detroit presents Malice of Alice. But
either that or it's the dark history of a waitress that works at Mel's Diner.
It is, yes. With an audio commentary by Vic Tayback. Promotional video, which hopefully is for this film or at least another one that would be better. And Security 2007, a short film by Brett Wood. So,
all right.
I guess, yeah. We joke and we're knocking this. You know what it is? It's just a tough trailer to tell what it's about. So there's really we're just kind of riffing off that our own personal vibe of it. It's nothing to do about the movie.
Yeah, all opinions of the host are purely of the host, and whatever.
Yeah. And if you have any questions on that, just look. We literally created a film historian that is a cat in a top hat and monocle. So
yeah,
there's what you got from us.
All right, next up is one of those Paramount Pictures like Thrills and Chills 4-movie collection. So this is this is a solid set. This includes the Pet Sematary remake, A Quiet Place, Crawl, which we recently featured, and Overlord, which is also a fantastic.
I love
movie.
that one. That's with Russell Wyatt. Is that?
Yeah. So these are all fantastic movies. Now I don't know what the price is on these. I think the last time I looked up one of these sets, it was like $45 or something, which I thought was a little high.
That's high for bare bones of these. I mean, even though they're 4 good movies, but
yeah, I was going to try to look it up real quick just to see, because I mean, it's a good way. Oh, okay, $35 is the pre-order price on this Blu-ray, which is not bad.
Not horrible. Yeah, I mean,
horrible.
That's under $10 a film. That's about what you do.
I mean, it depends. It really depends on the kind of collector you are. Like personally, unless it's something like the Hammer horror sets where the individual discs are difficult to get or expensive to get, I don't typically like compilations because I like to have each individual movie.
Yeah, and then it's a crazy if you're obsessive like me and like to put it in a certain order, that'll just drive you insane.
Yeah, so I'm not a huge fan of these collections like this, but if you're just wanting the movie and you just want to like a jump start your collection and get 4 good movies in one disc, it's not a bad price at all.
Or you know what, if like someone's like a horror fan, but they're not really a collector of movies per se, you can get them this, and they'll just have 4 movies in one little box. Good stocking stuffer there. Yeah. And the final release before we get into our pick of the week here, this is RLJ Entertainment, and this is The Barge People from 2018. I first got excited because I thought it was the El DeBarge People, and I thought it was about the band that did the song, Rhythm of the Night.
Yeah.
But it is not. It's set on the canals amid the glorious British countryside. 2 sisters and their boyfriends head off for a relaxing weekend away on a barge, unaware of the flesh-eating fish mutants lurking in the water, ready and waiting to feed. Don't you hate when a whole barge vacation is ruined by a fish creature?
I know. The only thing, and I don't know why this popped in my mind, but as I was watching this trailer, all I could think of was goddamn fish people.
You just had it with them by this point.
I just had it. So in my mind, this is goddamn fish people, the movie. Sorry. Yeah. It's what worked.
Yeah. And I mean, so for all you out there though, that that really wanted a barge theme horror film, your prayers have been answered apparently. So.
Oh,
and maybe wish harder next time for something else. No, this could be fine.
All right, so time jump here, guys. As we had already recorded this pick of the week for this next disc we're going to talk about, and realized as we were talking about it that it was actually not the edition we thought it was. The edition that's being released this week is a pared back edition of what we thought it was. So it got stripped of its pick of the week title, and we're giving the pick of the week to Gamera Collection. Yes. So we're retroactively re-awarding the pick of the week to the Gamera Collection. But we are going to talk about this release right here. And this is Arrow, The Last House on the Left from 1972. An iconic film that I saw way too young, Brian. This one, this one is definitely not a movie I should have watched at the age that I watched it. But in case you guys have not heard about it, if you've been living under a rock and have not heard about Wes Craven's fantastic, famous Last House on the Left. On their way to a rock concert, 2 teenagers are kidnapped by a gang of escaped convicts. Although they put up the fight of their lives, the girls are drugged, tossed in a car trunk, and driven into the woods by the savage murderous gang, only to wake up to a horror they could not have imagined. And this is the one with the famous trailer, "It's only a movie. It's only a movie."
In this case, they changed it, and it's only a Blu-ray. It's only a Blu-ray.
But so a couple of years ago, I'll explain why we got a little confused. A couple of years ago, Arrow released a 3-disc limited edition of this movie that was fantastic. It had some extra cuts of the film and a soundtrack of the original score. The disc released this week is basically a pared back version of that, but it's still a fantastic disc because it gives you most of the content from that 3-disc series. It just does not give you the original soundtrack disc, and it doesn't give you the alternate cuts that were on that, the Krug Company and R-rated cuts. So you're still getting the unrated cut of the film and all the extras for the unrated cut. So I'll kind of detail those real quick. You're getting the obviously high definition Blu-ray, original and compressed mono audio, the isolated score, audio commentary with Bill Ackerman and Amanda Rees, an archival audio commentary with writer-director Wes Craven and producer Sean S. Cunningham, archival audio commentary with stars David Hess, Mark Scheffler, and Fred Lincoln, archival introduction to the film by Wes Craven, Still Standing, The Legacy of the Last House on the Left, archival interview with Wes Craven, Celluloid Crime of the Century, archival documentary featuring interviews with Wes Craven, Sean S. Cunningham, actors David Hess, Fred Lincoln, Jeremy Rain, Mark Scheffler, and Martin Cove, Scoring Last House, archival interview with actor-composer David Hess, It's Only a Movie, The Making of the Last House on the Left archival featurette, Forbidden Footage, the cast and crew discuss the film's most controversial sequences, Junior's Story, interview with actor Mark Scheffler, Blood and Guts interview with makeup artist Ann Paul, The Road Leads to Terror featurette revisiting the film's original shooting locations, Deleted Scene, Mary Dying at the Lake, extended outtakes and dailies transferred in HD, trailers, TV spot and radio spots, image galleries, and a reversible sleeve featuring original and newly commissioned artwork by Paul Shipper. So if you missed out on that 3-disc limited edition like I did 2 years ago, this is your next best bet, and you still get most of the extras that were on that disc, and you get, of course, the unrated or remastered version of the movie. So still a very solid choice.
Yeah, except now because I'm me, I need to track down the 3-disc one if I'm going to buy it.
Yeah, we have to find out. It seems to be out of stock everywhere. So
yeah, I mean, but the good thing is, it's not. I don't think it's out of print. I think it's literally out of stock. So,
all right. So let's recap the crazy week of August 18th. So we had Pitch Black 4K from Arrow from 2000. That's a great disc. Tons of extras. Cursed Films from 2020. That's that great documentary from Shudder. The Terror Infamy, second season of The Terror from 2019. Prevenge from 2016. Open 24 Hours from 2018. Those Who Deserve to Die from 2019. The Thrills and Chills 4-movie collection that collects Pet Sematary, A Quiet Place, Crawl, and Overlord. The Barge People from 2018. The Last House on the Left, that is the single disc special edition version that's re-releasing this week. And then finally, our retroactively awarded pick of the week, Gamera, the Complete Collection from 1965 to 2006, or 1865 if you believe my typos.
Yes, either one, it's fine.
Either one is great. So that is our August 18th, and that brings us to our final extremely packed week.
Yeah, I know you thought we hit the point, but no, there's more.
Yeah, this one is from August. This is the disc for August 25th, and we have an astonishing 12 releases this week, and some really good ones here. So I will, I guess Brian, you will kick this off with The House by the Cemetery. This was easily my favorite trailer of the entire bunch.
Yeah, this was a good one. And I actually have the 3-disc version of this that came out a little while ago. So this is I think this is just a 2-disc version. I think the 3rd disc, though, was just the soundtrack.
Yeah.
So you're actually getting the same thing I have, minus the soundtrack on it. But still, this was it's part of that trilogy. Remember that they were releasing? This is the 4K version. Mine was not 4K. So, but the plot revolves around a series of murders taking place in a New England home, a home which happens to be hiding a particularly gruesome secret within its basement walls. And Tim noticed there's a lot of sweaters in the trailer.
There's a lot of sweaters in this trailer. And then there's a sequence in this trailer where a guy gets his head cut off, or a woman, I can't remember. And their head rolls down the stairs, and the kid sees this head falling down the stairs and screams. And it was hilarious. He's like a poor man's Charlie Bucket from Willy Wonka, because he has that obnoxious sweater on the whole time.
Yeah.
It's a comical trailer. I loved it. I don't know. You just have to go watch it. I don't know why to explain why it's so charming to me, but I love this trailer.
Yeah, and this is packed for the 2-disc. It's disc 1 is the 4K Blu-ray, 4K 16-bit restoration of the film from the original 35mm camera negative, audio commentary with our English chap Troy Howelf,
but without his counterpart.
Yeah, so he just reverts to just pure Brit. Remember, that's what he is when he's by himself. It says so. He's like author of Splintered Visions, Lucio Fulci and his films, deleted scene. Theatrical trailers, TV spot poster, and still galleries. And the disc 2, here's where you really get the meat of the special features. It's because I think they must have used a lot of that disc for the restoration.
Yeah.
So the second one is Meet the Boyles, interview with stars Catriona McCall and Paolo Malco. Children of the Night, interviews with stars Giovanni Frezza and Sylvia Colatina. Tales of Laura Giddleston, interview with star Dagmar Lassander. Or Lassander. I don't know how to... My Time with Terror. And I looked at this, funny. I don't know why I read this way, but it looked like My Time with Trejo. I thought it was like a Danny Trejo thing, but it's My Time with Terror, interview with star Carlo De Mejo. Yeah, if you look at the T down, you'll see what I mean. Okay, a Haunted House Story, interviews with co-writers Dardano Sacchetti and Elisa Brigante. To build a better death trap, and I looked at that and thought it said Build-A-Bear. I think my concentration is waning here on this 90th disc of the year. No, how to build no, it's not how to build. See, I'm adding words now.
How to build a better bear.
Yeah, to build a better death trap. Interviews.
Build-A-Bear workshop.
I know. And wait, here comes some names too. Interview with cinematographers Sergio Salvati, special makeup effects artist Maurizio Trani, special effects artist Gino De Rossi, and actor Giovanni Di Nava. Housequake, interview with co-writer Giorgio Mariuzzo. Okay, why is it Housequake? I don't understand that one. Catriona McCall Q&A, and Calling Dr. Freudstein, an interview with Stephen Thrower, author Beyond Terror, the films of Lucio Fulci. Oh, that was that book we spoke about.
So I've got a question. When we go back to that Time with Terror interview with star Carlo Di Mejo, is when the director called him on set and found out he wasn't needed for that scene, did he say, get the other guys in, but hold Di Mejo?
God. With the slow build-up, I'm like, where's Tim going with this? And then once you said it, I knew exactly where you were going.
I had to go there. Sorry.
No, you did.
All right, next up from Severin Films, The Beast Must Die, a birth year film, 1974. I need to watch this one.
Yeah.
And especially after this trailer. Oh, my God. So Tom Newcliffe, a rich businessman and expert hunter, summons 6 guests to his huge country estate, which he has rigged up with video cameras and a high-tech security system. Or at least as high-tech as you could get in 1974.
Yeah.
He tells them and his surprised wife... Yeah, you don't just spring 6 guests.
It's bad enough, like, honey, the boss is coming over for dinner. Yeah. Now it's like, by the way, I have 5 more people coming over. One of them's a werewolf, by the way. But make sure your meatloaf is on point tonight.
He tells them and his surprised wife that they are all to stay over a weekend and that all of them will be kept on the estate during that weekend. For each guest, dead bodies have followed in their wake, and the way that the dead have been murdered means that one of the guests is a werewolf. Yep. And Tom has summoned the guest here to discover who it is and to hunt it down. The film has a clip at the beginning asking people in the audience to try to identify the werewolf. And near the end, there's a 30-second werewolf break for the audience to think over the evidence.
So 30 seconds you get? That's it?
So the reason I said it that way is because in the video, he's like, one of these 8 people is a werewolf.
Yeah, no, they did, yeah.
I loved it.
But this is kind of fun. It reminds me of The Mole, that, or like that new show that's out. What's with the camp? I haven't watched it yet. I have him on my DVR. The one.
I love The Mole. That was a great show.
Yeah, to me that was one of the coolest reality shows. Why did that not last? Remember they brought it back for one more season, but they didn't do it the same way. So why? I don't understand.
The coolest host ever in Anderson Cooper. I mean,
yeah. But that was like such a great show. I love that one because that added something to your normal boring reality shows. That's why I can't wait to watch. I got to get back. I only got to watch like the first 10 minutes of the other thing because I have to watch it. Because I watch it off the DVR on my Fios app because I'm not at home, and so it's like sometimes it like freezes, and I'm like, I don't have the patience right now for this. So I'm gonna attempt it again. Hopefully, maybe it was just the Wi-Fi being spotty that night, and but I do want to watch
4K,
it. It's funny.
4K restoration.
Oh wow!
I've noticed a lot of discs are now like just coming automatically 4K.
Yeah,
which is nice.
And by the time they're all done, it'll be time for 8K. But
yeah. But
okay.
I do love werewolf movies.
Yeah, no, this one looks good. This is like Peter Cushing's Mole. But okay, so the next one is by Severin Films. We've had them before, and I hope I'm going to pronounce this right. But is it Enigma? But like it's spelled weird, right?
Yeah, Enigma.
Enigma from 1987, and it's a spirit of a comatose teenage girl possesses the body of a newcomer to her girls' boarding school to enact bloody revenge against the elitist lingerie-clad co-eds responsible for her condition. I could totally see Joe Bob saying that term, right? Yeah, against the elitist lingerie-clad co-eds responsible for her condition. Joe Bob gives it 2 thumbs up. You know.
Oh my gosh!
Or no, 4 stars. That Joe Bob's a 4-star. That he's a star guy. That's right. Joe Bob gives it 4.5 stars.
Yeah. Now he never gives above 4 though.
No, he doesn't. I was generous, more generous than Joe Bob.
Yeah. This trailer I posted here was created by randomly cutting the film into segments, then throwing them in the air and piecing them back together at random. This is the most random trailer I've ever seen in my life.
That's also how I figure the city planner designed the roads in New Jersey too.
Yeah.
But I think they used spaghetti and they just threw it up and traced it. But yeah, no, the best thing about this trailer is to me is that like I was getting so bored with it, I stopped kind of paying attention to it, and then it led to a Blood Diner trailer, and I got back into it. Unfortunately, it wasn't for the right film.
Oh man, yeah, this is a weird one. Next up is another one from Severin. They're just cranking them out.
Yeah,
a lot of Fulci stuff. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but a lot of Fulci releases this month. So if you're a Fulci fan, you are in heaven.
Wait, Tim, I'm going to challenge you with this. You know how you always give me Brian's guess?
Yeah.
And by looking at it, you gave me one that's no way on earth I'm going to even come close to getting.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give you a challenge. If you look at the way this synopsis is, you have to read it in Estelle Getty's playing Sophia from the Golden Girls voice. Because if you look at the way it starts, that's solely how she would start a story.
All right, I'll do my best.
Okay.
I'm not a very good Estelle Getty impersonator, but this is Severin Films' Demonia from 1990. All right. This is going to be horrible. Okay. All right. In 1486, in Sicily, 5 nuns are crucified in their convent by the superstitious locals that believe they are evil and worship devil. Not the devil.
I know, it's a devil.
In 1990, in Toronto, the skeptical archaeologist Professor Paul Evans and his superstitious colleague Liza Harris, I don't know what her name was, Liza, who knows, explore with their team the medieval dig where the nuns were killed. Liza has dreadful nightmares with the nuns while members of the expedition mysteriously die and the locals are against the research in the archaeological site. I don't know, that was more Mel Brooks than Estelle Getty.
I was going to say, yeah, really, Estelle Getty has seen better days, but still. But you know how she used to do that? She goes like, 1846, Sicily. Like, that's why I looked at that, I'm like, oh my God, that's why I'm giving Tim a challenge.
Oh my God, there is a cat attack scene in this trailer that has to be seen to be believed.
Yeah, and is that Chloe Grace Moretz's mother in that? Because she looks like Chloe Grace Moretz when she's going to be 30 years old.
Yeah, that really does. But apparently not, since it's from 1990.
Yeah.
All right, Brian. So this next one is your guess, and I tried to pick the most generic, obscure title I could find.
Really? I couldn't tell.
So that you had absolutely no way to pick this. But let me tell you, I watched the trailer. I did not link the trailer because I did not want you to accidentally click on it and look at it. This movie I have got to see. Like, this is a must-see. I have never heard of this movie. I don't know why, but this is a must-see. I cannot wait. And I will give you one hint.
Okay.
It is directed by Lucio Fulci.
Oh.
All right.
Oh, boy.
And it stars a bunch of Italian people you've never heard of.
Well, basically, anytime I see a Fulci movie, the title seems to never match up with what it is.
Right.
But,
I will give you some keywords, okay, from IMDb.
Okay.
All right. These are the keywords that are going to clue you in. Okay, here we go. This might be an added feature for your choices from here on out. Okay. Plot. I'm going to give you the first 5 plot keywords.
Okay.
Okay. Breasts. Bound to X-shaped cross. Face paint. Female nudity. Supernatural.
So you've just described every Fulci film.
This is like $20,000 pyramid.
What? Oh God. I'm gonna say it's some. I guess. All right. So I'm gonna go like that. It's kind of like a religious period piece of some sort. I guess where. There's like some evil guy and he uses all these women that I guess. Hence the nudity and the breast part. and I guess he just has this collection of them and that's his conquest.
Oh man, you were so wrong.
Of course
you were so wrong.
Did I have a chance really though on this one?
No, but this is a sword and sorcery fantasy epic. A young man armed with a magical bow and arrows embarks on a mystical journey through a mystical land to rid it of all evil and joins forces with an outlaw to take down an evil witch bent on claiming the magic bow for evil. And let me tell you, this trailer has
Is the magic bow a euphemism though for this?
I don't know. I thought it was cavemen because they're like Conan type people, but they have like the fur thing that goes over the shoulder type caveman thing, but they shoot lasers.
What?
It's like cavemen with lasers. I gotta see this movie.
It's a caveman with lasers.
With little freaking laser beams. It looks incredible. I don't know how I've never seen this movie.
Well, now I gotta look it up.
You gotta look up this trailer, Brian. It is amazing. I cannot wait to see this. I love like Conan stuff. You know, guys, I'm like a huge Conan fan. I love that kind of stuff. And now you add lasers into the mix. I mean, come on.
Oh my God. And what is this Banana Man intro with Rivero? What is that?
I don't know. That's all I gotta watch.
Oh, he's the star, Jorge Rivero. I see.
Banana Man. Also known as the Banana Man. So yeah, that is this one is from 1983. And it does have an interview with star Jorge Rivero and Banana Man intro with Rivero and theatrical trailer. Fully remastered last year. So wow. I've got to see this.
Yeah, this one sounds very, very interesting. Oh, so it's on the Full Moon thing from Prime Video channels. So I don't know if that's free or you have to...
That's a subscription service, yeah, through Full Moon, yeah. I'm still kicking myself. I did not take advantage and get that full Puppet Master box set. Remember, they were offering a free Puppet Master box set if you signed up for a year of their streaming service.
Really? I don't think I remembered that. I would have totally done that.
Yeah, they did a promotion and they had a full set, and I just didn't do it because at the time it was still like $100 or whatever. But
you had to buy like a whole thing.
Yeah, you had to like buy the whole year of the streaming service to get it, but it's still worth it. I mean, it's still a great deal. I'm hoping they'll rerun it at some point because I've heard the guys on a couple of podcasts I listen to from Full Moon. I've heard them talk about how successful the promotion was, so I'm hoping they'll redo it at some point.
So I got good news for you, Timothy.
All right,
it is playing for free on Tubi.
Oh, of course Tubi would come through with something like this. Of course they would.
They get a lot of Full Moon things. So it is on Tubi, and I'm putting this on my list right now. Oh, I'm not logged in. So I'll have to do it on my iPad later. So that's in there. It's the same one, Jorge Rivera, and so you got it now. You can watch it for free.
I may watch that tonight.
It's only an hour 25 minutes. You can knock it out in an hour and 25 minutes. Okay. So there we go.
All right. Well, I'm gonna let you take the next one, Brian, since you were just utterly crushed on that choice.
This one's not gonna help me either, though. Fulci for Fake from 2019. It's the first biopic about Lucio Fulci, with never before footage and photos and interviews. But the trailer, like Tim said, the trailer's completely in Italian. So we don't know if it's a biopic mixed with documentary footage. But, like, you see Fulci in there. There's real footage of him. But I don't know who the hell the other people are. And
it's like they mix, like, people playing him.
Yeah.
But also him in real life. I don't know.
I know. The way I said it's like it looks fake, then real, then fake, then real, and now he's at the beach. So I don't get what's going on in this thing. But
yeah, interesting.
So sorry for all the help with that one, but we can't give you anything else.
Next up from Dark Force Entertainment. This one was a doozy to try to find. This is The Last Victim from 1975, but it's also an AKA as Forced Entry. This is a horror thriller about a psychotic mechanic whose history of childhood abuse at the hands of his mother leads to murderous rage against women. When he ends up falling for one of his potential victims, the terrified but resourceful woman manages to manipulate his amorous feelings so she can escape. And this trailer is an extended sequence of shots of porn theaters, and then this woman running through the woods with one boob out.
Yeah.
So she put there that she signed up for the one boob out 5K.
Yeah, and it's like it's a flapping boob. So Joe Bob may even call it like flapping boob foo, but we're not sure. But,
it was weird. It's like, I mean, I don't know. I don't have boobs, so I don't know the logistics of it. But to me, it would just be more comfortable to just let them both flap.
I mean, in this point, it didn't look like she was intentionally like. That was her tie. I think she got ripped in the very beginning of the trailer they showed, and then she's like kind of going down a hill at one point. So it's more like it's like a 5K, but it's not one of those like smooth 5Ks. It's like one of those off-road 5Ks.
Yeah, it's like a trail run. But with one boob,
like that. The end of Meatballs. Remember that thing where he's got to like go through the. Yeah.
I don't know. It was very, very strange. And speaking of very strange,
oh my God!
Take this next one, Brian. Yeah, what is this? I don't know what this is.
Yeah, so this is called The Comic from 1985, and it's a future police state. A stand-up comic murders a competitor for a job, then gets mixed up with a stripper. Yeah, and that's about all you need to tell you about this movie, because the trailer is weird. I don't get it, what's going on there.
I don't either. This movie, like, from what I could tell, has not really been re-released often. I feel like this may be the first time it's been on Blu-ray. I don't know that for sure, but the hair in this movie, wow.
Yeah, it's like this giant orange hair. Kind of looks like the villain from The Incredibles. Remember the first one?
Yeah,
kind of thing going.
Yeah,
but then he also kind of looks like Rick Astley. So I kind of left really disappointed because we didn't get a Rick roll. But it was odd. But apparently there was a 2K restoration from the original camera negative that they managed to find for this, and then along with that you get an uncompressed mono audio, optional English subtitles for the deaf and hard of hearing, brand new introduction with actor Steve Monroe, newly filmed interview with actor Steve Monroe, reversible sleeve featuring original and newly commissioned artwork by the Twins of Evil, and first pressing only you get the collector's booklet featuring additional cast and crew interviews. So, and
like the trailer was all this like most controversial film ever. Cannot believe it was re-released. And I don't know. It's very, very strange.
That's what they call really like attempt at marketing.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So next up from Warner Brothers, we have Deep Blue Sea 3 from 2020. Dr. Emma Collins and her team are spending their third summer on the island of
Little
Happy.
That's Mike Collins' daughter.
Oh, you're right. Are spending their third summer on the island of Little Happy studying the effect of climate change on the great white sharks who come to the nearby nursery every year to give birth. Along with the last two inhabitants of this former fishing village, their peaceful life is disrupted when a scientific team, quote-unquote scientific, led by her ex-boyfriend and marine biologist Richard, show up looking for 3 bull sharks who we soon learn aren't just any bull sharks. And so my description for this one was, this looks terrible, I will watch it.
Yeah. And me, I said, it's just like Jaws, but in the, it says, but I said at least they had the token Australian guy that comes in that supposedly knows about these sharks, you know?
Yeah, this one does have a couple features. Deep Blue Sea 3, Fight to the Death, and Sinking Sets and Sharks Making Deep Blue Sea 3. So I really liked the first Deep Blue Sea. I never watched the second one.
I forgot there was a second one. No lie.
Yeah, then there's this one, and I don't know. I'll watch it. I like anything with sharks in it.
Yeah, the first one was pretty good though. I remember that was pretty fun. Like I saw
Yeah,
that in the theater. I had a
too.
fun time watching that one in the theater.
Because that one had Samuel Jackson in it getting eaten by a shark. I mean, you can't beat that. So
no.
All right, Brian, you get probably the
boy.
doozy of the month here.
Yeah.
This trailer, oh my god!
This one actually had me laughing out loud because I happened to read Tim's description of it first, and I'm like, oh, he's got to be kidding. It's like Tim's probably just like, kind of going off of something and like kind of making a joke out of it. But no, he was so dead on that it made it even funnier. But I'll read you the description and then we'll get into where this is the best part of this movie is not listed in the description, even though in this trailer they mentioned it like 5 times and you get like 50 examples of it.
Yes.
But anyway, here's the description and then we'll go into a little more. A blade-wielding psychopath is on the loose, turning the Big Apple bright red with blood of beautiful young women as NYPD detectives follow the trail of butchery from the decks of Staten Island Ferry to the sex shows of Times Square. Each brutal murder becomes a sadistic taunt. In the city that never sleeps, he's the killer that can't be stopped. And I just realized I didn't give you the title. It's New York Ripper, by the way, from 1982, from Blue Underground, and that's a 4K release. What they didn't give you is I'll let Tim write this first because I want Tim to read it the way I did. And
okay, so this is another Fulci film. So the killer in this movie, for some reason, talks like Donald Duck, and I'm not exaggerating. Like he literally sounds like Donald Duck.
Yeah, it's literally like they're like you'll see a woman scream, ah, and then she goes, and like I'm like, what the? I like literally could not believe that Tim was so dead on when he said that. I thought it was just going to be like a guy going like, yeah, I'm gonna come and get you, or so, something like that would, Donald Duck would sound like once. I didn't realize literally they like Disney might have a lawsuit here.
So of course I said the trailer quacked me up and authorities suspected foul play.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna tell you, when I was watching this, when the guy said, I just laughed out loud when the guy said, the killer sounds like a duck.
Yeah, me too.
He said the killer talks like a duck, and I was like, what does a duck talk like? Ducks don't talk.
Because they couldn't say Donald Duck. Donald Duck is what either Daffy Duck or Donald Duck. Those are the ducks that we know talk, and they're not real. They're cartoons. So why is that the definite? I mean, then again, he does sound like a whack, I guess.
But the crazy thing is, through the trailer, he will not shut up. Like the whole trailer is like going along, and you hear this.
Yeah, it's like. Yeah, it's literally you have to see this trailer.
Okay, can I do my Donald Duck sneezing impression I do for the kids to make them laugh?
Yes.
Okay, here we go. I hope the mic picks this up right. Okay, here we go. Okay.
Oh my god,
that was hard to do with headphones on.
Yeah, no, but you did that pretty good.
All right, that's
yeah. And the funny thing is, I did some research, and ironically, there's a sequel to New York Ripper 2, and their killer this time kind of goes, but yeah, no.
This is the most bizarre premise for a movie.
Yeah, I mean, where did like they probably? Here's what I imagine went on there. They're sitting in the pitch meeting. They're like, Fulci's sitting there, with his cigar and his glass of wine at the edge, and they're asking him. They're kind of like, so here's this idea we have for this film. This blade wielding psychopath is on the loose, and he's killing everyone in the Big Apple. I have seen that before. We got to add something different. And then some guy who's like an intern for one day comes in there and goes like this. How about if you make him talk like a duck? And then next thing you know, it's in the script, and there it goes. I literally think there's no other source. I can't imagine that was in the original script.
You're in for a treat. This movie is on Tubi.
Oh, yes.
Tubi just came through again.
Oh, my God.
I've got to watch this.
Sorry, because I know we usually talk nothing about Shudder, but man, Tubi's saving us with some horror film. What did I just need to see on Tubi that was on there? Oh, was it maybe one of the Amityville films I needed was on there too?
Yeah. They have a lot of those obscure. If you're thinking of a movie and going, you know what, I haven't seen that in forever, it's probably on Tubi.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so anyway, so we got this disc is pretty packed for a movie about a killer duck. But actually, he's not a duck, but it just sounds like one. 4K 16-bit restoration of the film from the original 35mm camera negative. Audio commentary with Troy Howarth, author of Splintered Visions.
Book. Oh my god,
Lucio
Troy Howarth,
Fulci.
I'm gonna get your book.
And Troy Howarth, ironically, also does the whole thing in a British duck. This time, he's like, by the way, but no. Poor Troy Howard thought he was like home free from this episode. But yeah, so it has a theatrical trailer, which is the best part about this thing already. So you get the best feature so far right there. And then disc 2 has the feature film. Wait a minute, what did the first one have? Oh, it was the 4K version. Okay, sorry. Disc 2 is the Blu-ray, and it's feature film, audio. Oh, and it's got the audio commentary, the same one. I think this one is not duck. The Art of Killing, interview with co-writer Dardano Sacchetti. 3 Fingers of Violence. Oh, there's another duck reference, right? Because it's got a web foot. I see what they're doing there. Interview with star Howard Ross. Oh, no, with star Howard Ross. Sorry, I made him into one name.
With star Donald Duck.
Yeah. The Second Victim, interview with co-star Cynthia De Ponte. The Broken Bottle Murder, interview with co-star Zora Karova. I'm an actress. 2019, and I did that because it's an exclamation point. 2009 interview with co-star Zora Karova. Wait a minute, like she had to prove to people that she was an actress. Being in the movie was not enough.
Yeah.
The Beauty Killer, interview with Stephen Thrower, author of Beyond Terror, the films of Lucio Fulci. We gotta get that book.
Yeah.
Paint Me Blood Red, interview with poster artist Enzo Sciatti. New NYC locations then and now. That would be a fun featurette. Being a New Yorker, I would like to see that. Even though probably the then and now, who knows how like recent that thing was. Theatrical trailers, posters and still gallery, and a cookbook on how to cook your duck. No, So yeah, so that disc is like that. I tell you, I might have to pick up this disc just because of even though it's free on Tubi. Which now it's like, what am I going to watch tonight? Either that other one or this quacking killer movie. I mean,
this one, this Beyond Terror, the films of Lucio Fulci, paperback is $60. This looks like one that's kind of hard to track down. So I may have to look on eBay for this one or something.
What, the original one is not available?
The hardcover is $120.
Oh, the book. I'm sorry. I thought you meant the Blu-ray. I'm sorry.
No. The book is kind of crazy, but
I thought it was a newer book. I swear to God, I thought we talked about it one of our year review things, but maybe not.
Yeah, no, it looks like it's from originally from. Can't tell.
Oh, you know where I should check if I ever allowed to go back?
2016, yeah, 2016.
You know where I should check if I literally serious if I ever go into a store again? Is the Strand bookstore in New York City.
Yeah, I bet you they might have it.
Or you know what? I'd even check a local library, see if maybe they have it to at least borrow.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I definitely want to read that one. And the Troy Howarth ones. He's got 3. He's actually got a trilogy of 3 Fulci books.
Well, we better read his books, too, because we sure as hell we know he's not going to ever be a guest on our show.
No. All right, so our last release before our pick of the week is from Universal Studios. This is the Universal Horror Collection Volume 6 from 1952 to 1961. This is a set, that I one day I will have all of these.
Yeah.
This one includes The Black Castle from 1952, Cult of the Cobra from 1955, The Thing That Couldn't Die from 1958, and The Shadow of the Cat from 1961. And I'm guessing they're starting to get to the end of their collections here as we're getting into the 60s, but The Black Castle, I'm not going to read the synopsis for each of these, but The Black Castle has a new 2K restoration, an audio commentary with author, film historian Tom Weaver. We forgot him.
Wait, he's on. I think he's on our list, isn't he?
Yeah, Tom Weaver is an upbeat, nice guy.
Yeah, he is.
He's a nice guy.
Oh, right, but sometimes he's paired with Dr. Kiss, who's a snooty Englishman, but not in this case.
Not in this case.
There, he's just an
by
upbeat
himself.
Yeah, he's just chilling.
New Universal Horror Strikes Back, a look at Universal Horror in the 40s, and a still gallery. Cult of the Cobra includes a new 2K restoration, new audio commentary with film historians Tom Weaver, Steve Cronenberg, and David Schechter and Robert J. Kiss. Wow, that's a whole...
Oh, wait, Robert J. Kiss is back? But he didn't team up with... That's
Yeah.
interesting. He didn't
Maybe
team
they
up. He's
split
too
up.
snooty to team up.
That one has a theatrical trailer and TV spots for the double feature of Revenge of the Creature and Cult of the Cobra, and a still gallery. The Thing That Couldn't Die includes a new 2K restoration, new audio commentary by authors, film historians Tom Weaver and C.
God.
Courtney Joyner.
How did we miss that?
I don't know. I totally missed this section.
Oh my God, we missed everybody. Look what's coming up too.
Yeah, theatrical trailer, and then Shadow of the Cat includes a new 2K restoration, a new audio commentary by author, film historian Bruce G. Hallenbeck.
I thought we had him, but I don't see him on our list. Is he new?
Yeah.
He's not new, is he?
I don't think he's new. I think he might have been grandfathered in, and we've just forgot about him. Because he's been on before. Yeah, we'll rectify that.
I'll tell you though, I wanna see that when we gotta hear this commentary though with where we team up C. Courtney Joyner and Tom Weaver, because they're both you know how they both try and be chill.
Yeah.
But like C. Courtney is like pretentiousness though. C. Court, you know, he may accidentally slip in and insult the normally jovial, relaxed Tom Weaver.
Can Tom Weaver handle? Can he maintain his nice guy persona?
I don't know.
Gotta see we have In the Shadow of Shelley, an interview with Barbara Shelley, TV spot for the double feature of Curse of the Werewolf and The Shadow of the Cat, and a still gallery. So another great Universal horror collection there. And that brings us, Brian, you will get to take our last pick of the week for the month, which is a fantastic choice.
Yes, and this is one of me and Tim's favorites that we've discussed many a times. I've been waiting for this one because I think this was another one that was talked about or we knew about it a long time ago. Mm-hmm. And I think it was early in the year when they had said it was coming out, and I don't know if they had a date yet, but that is from Shout Factory, Tales from the Dark Side, the movie collector's edition. This is, of course, the 1990 movie anthology that we love so much. Three chilling tales with a connecting story. In Lot 249, a college student is menaced by a mummy. Cat from Hell finds the millionaire owner of the titular feline hiring. What does it say? I see. I read that wrong. Finds the millionaire owner of the titular feline hiring a hitman to kill the pet. Finally, in Lover's Vow, an artist suffers severe retribution after taking a vow of silence after witnessing the murder of a friend. And this, of course, is this is a classic anthology that we love, and this is going to be a must for the Monolith. I need this in there.
And this movie is kind of unofficially Creepshow 3 because it brought in most of the people that worked on Creepshow.
Right.
To do this movie, so you can kind of look at it as an unofficial Creepshow 3.
Yeah, I mean, it's in that vein anyway. I mean, obviously from the being the anthology, like kind of like that revenge type of deal there. It says new audio commentary with co-producer David R. Kappas is what is, and then the others. It's light on special feature. Oh no, it's not actually. Sorry, there was a space there. It's smaller than a lot of the Shout Factory stuff, but still pretty good. But they have a great. Feature here called New Tales Behind the Dark Side, The Making of Four Ghoulish Fables, a 6-chapter feature-length documentary. So that's, when you have a feature-length documentary, sometimes it like does take up the space that a lot of like those mini ones.
Understandable.
Yeah, so this one's more like, I think, just substance than the amount of it, basically. It's like different quality over quantity here. And then, so it's the featuring director John Harrison, producer Mitchell Gallen, director of photography Robert Draper, production designer Ruth Ammon, special makeup effect and creature effects artist Robert Kurtzman, Greg Nicotero, and Howard Berger, creature performer Michael Deek, actors James Remar and Ray Dong Chong, and editor Harry B. Miller. So that's a big collection of people there. For that feature-length documentary, that would probably be really fun watch. And on top of that, it's also got, and this is kind of like a great one because look at this: an audio commentary director John Harrison and co-screenwriter George A. Romero. So nice. That's worth it for right there. Theatrical trailer, TV spots, radio spots, still galleries, behind-the-scene gallery, and behind-the-scene footage compilation. So that's definitely a winner for the definitely got to be the pick of the week. Sorry, no matter how many killer ducks you can get into a movie. That is still going to not beat Tales from the Dark Side Shout Factory release. Yeah,
that's just an amazing disc, which I will definitely own because that is a great, great anthology. So wrapping up August 25th, we had The House by the Cemetery 4K, The Beast Must Die with the Werewolf, Enigma from 1987, Demonia from 1990, 1983 sword and sorcery epic Conquest from Lucio Fulci. I got to see that. Fulci for Fake 2019. The Last Victim, aka Forced Entry from 1975. The Comic from 1985. Deep Blue Sea 3 from 2020. The New York Ripper 4K 1982. 1982. And the Universal Horror Collection Volume 6. And our pick of the week, Shout Factory's Collector's Edition of Tales from the Dark Side, the movie. And that will wrap up our exhausting look at August. If September is even bigger, I don't know what we're going to have to break this thing down into two parts or something.
Yeah, and think about it. We're about to get into the horror movies come out for Halloween. But usually that hits October, so we may have a break in September. But you know, it's funny when you said pneumonia. You know what I could think of? When we were saying we don't really know much about it, I could kind of picture like Brian Backer showing in there. You just don't know pneumonia. You don't know pneumonia, but sorry.
Hey, it's as good a guess as any.
I had to go there. Okay.
All right, guys. So we will see you back next month for September's.
2 hours almost we hit with this
2
one.
hours, yeah, almost 2 hours. So that's a long one. This was a big one, but I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as we did watching these trailers and discussing these films. So go out, support physical media, grab some of these Blu-rays, and have a good time in quarantine. We will see you guys back here next month.
Yes, we will be quack here next month at September.